Well, what is going on? Welcome back to Clayton Schick Outdoors. Of course, I'm Clayton Schick. This is 100% the outdoors, and today I am fishing walleyes with crankbaits. It's been a good while since I've pulled some cranks for walleyes, and it is such a great way to not only catch them, but also locate them to possibly do some other types of fishing. So right now, that is my goal, is to try to locate a bunch of walleyes, pulling cranks, and then possibly do something after, some snap jigging, anything like that. Maybe it'll be a different video, maybe it'll be part of this video. We'll see how it goes. But right now, we're gonna try to find some walleyes, pulling some cranks. And yeah, maybe take a couple home to eat too. We shall see. Okay, we are officially trolling. Sadly for this video, there will be no live imaging unless my cable smartens up. I think I have a bad HDMI cable, so I'm not able to capture any footage. That fixes itself, I'll be able to capture footage. But right now, no live imaging for this video. Oh, there we go. Okay, took a little bit, made a whole pass up that shore against the wind, turned around with the wind, and again, took a little bit to catch the first one, but we are on the board. Nothing stacked up where it makes me want to sit and cast right now. I still want to just keep kind of cranking along here. But a nice one though. Nice one. Nice one. Okay, on the board. He managed to take both hooks. I know lots of times these walleyes will get right behind the bait and they'll eat just the back hook, or a lot of times they'll hit, oh easy buddy, wants to freak on me. He'll hit it kind of from underneath and get both of them. First one. That one came in about 12 feet of water with 65 feet of line out and trolling with the wind, so it's pushing me along pretty good at like 2.5, 2.6 mile an hour. A little bit quicker than I'd like to be, but with the wind, don't have much of an option right now. I do lots of cranking later in the year where I put my rod in the rod holder, but usually then when I'm doing that, it's like the same consistent depth the whole time. You're not as adjusting as much. Right now I'm going from shoreline to out, shoreline to out, so I'm going from like 8 feet to 15 feet. So I'm dropping line, reeling up line, dropping line, reeling it, etc. So I'm holding my rod, being active with it compared to in a rod holder, just letting it kind of do its thing. Oh, geez. Fish on, fish on. Just going in the middle of this wide open area from one shoreline to another shoreline and got hit way out in the middle. And I was moving pretty good, like 3 mile an hour. It's a walleye though. It's a walleye. That time, back hook. Back hook. Oh, easy. Walleye 2. Catch one more. We'll show off the crankbaits that I'm running right now. It's a new one. I'm pretty excited. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. Feels nice. I'm going to just let the boat turn with the wind here, so I keep my back for the audio, because it is pretty rough right now. Pretty windy. Nice fish. Nice Walter. Oh, gone. Whoa. Oh, that's okay. We got him. I'm starting to mark a pile on the live imaging. There's lots of fish here. I finally found a pile of fish, I think. I'm seeing lots of fish on the live imaging, marking lots on the 2D. I kind of wish I could screen record, obviously, but that HDMI cable, I'll definitely be taking extra HDMI cables in the future. I don't know whether I'll like keep trolling or whether I'll kind of switch out here, since I have found a pile of them, I think, a big pot of them. I'm gonna do a little bit of cranking here for a bit first, and then I might do some snap jigging or something like that as well with some plastics, or maybe a hyper rattle, jigging wrap, something like that. It's a pretty mucky, weedy bottom, so the cranks right now is probably not the best option, because as soon as I get some weeds on it, I lose most of my action on that crank. It's very, very, like I said, mucky bottom. Cranks seem to always work better with hard bottom, with sand, rocks, obviously, something where your crankbait doesn't get all mucked up. So like I said, we might switch just for that purpose in general. Cool, going over a huge school of them. 4 or 5, maybe 6 fish. The plan always was just to locate them with cranks and then smash them with soft plastics. You can never go wrong with just cranking around until you find a pod of fish, and then sitting down on that pod of fish for a little bit, smashing them. As soon as they kind of fish them out, troll along to the next pod of fish, fish them out, and rinse, repeat over and over again. Okay, I keep getting my crankbait all mucked up in here, and there's a bunch of walleyes in here. I found them, so I'm going to get a jig out, some plastic, jig and plastic, and I'm going to see if I can crush a few. But before I do, these are the new crankbaits that I'm running right now. They're reef runners. They're a 900 stalker. They're new this year. This is the biggest one the reef runners made now. And here's the story of the reef runner. Reef runner for the longest time made amazing crankbaits, but a huge problem with them was that they wouldn't be tuned out of the package, as in like you'd have to always mess around with them. And obviously some crankbaits, no matter what, you're gonna have to mess around with them a little bit. But they're like, I loved the reef runners, but like everyone had to put it in and like seemed to like tune it. They now hand tune everyone, or they tank test them and hand tune them before they're packaged. So these right here, the new 900 reef runner stalker, you're going to see a lot of these in my videos in the future, just because I was always a huge reef runner fan. But now that they're actually going to be hand tuning them before they send them out, and sure, you might have to even possibly fine tune them a little bit more from here and there, right? Or you could hit one rock and it could throw everything off kilter. You're going to have to, and all to tune them, all you're literally doing is just like bending that little metal, not the clasp itself, I guess it's kind of like the clip, but it's where the split ring's attached to. You just kind of like tweak it one way or another depending on whether it's pulling left or right. I'll do a video about that in the future. But those are new this year. You're going to see a lot of them in the future, I think, in my videos, because I love to pull crankbaits, especially as the season progresses. Right now, though, they're in shallower. They're anywhere between 10 to, well, actually 8 to 12 feet. So we're going to spot lock and kind of move around and find them on the live imaging, pitch out to them, and smash a few walleyes that way. It was always the plan, was just to catch some trolling and then smash them with the jigs. Yeah, right on the bottom. I figured first cast. I figured first cast. Whacked him. Nice one too. Nice one. Such a good 1-2 punch. Find them with the cranks, catch them with the jigs. I think I need to move a little bit shallower. I'm finding them live imaging like 60, 65 feet away out towards the shore, a little bit shallower. So I'm gonna slide the boat shallower so I can pitch backwards to them. Be a good little eater. I won't even show that one off. Oh, nice. Okay, well, this is good. A little bit of a backstory here. I pitched around for a little bit with a grub. Okay, that's gone. That's okay. I pitched around with this bait right here. 3.8 inch tickle tail with a 3/8 ounce jig head. Caught 2 fish, I believe, and then just couldn't get anything to bite at all. I think they're really, really finicky right now. So I downsized right now to a 1/4 ounce jig head. So it's not that much smaller, but it's a little bit smaller, and a 2.8 inch grub tail, a tickle shad. So this is going to give me just a little bit smaller presentation, and hopefully that's going to be the ticket, because I was getting them to follow, but I just couldn't get them to eat it. So downsize a little bit to see if we can maybe make something happen yet, hopefully. Or maybe it'll just be a 1 cast miracle again, right? Could be. I always preach about being adaptive to the situation. Like, you can go out with an idea. That's what you want to do that day, but let the fish dictate what you're actually going to end up doing. I wanted to crank, they wouldn't let me. Well, I guess the area wouldn't let me either. They were eating cranks, not super aggressively though, but they were eating cranks a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Never go with your game plan and stay committed if it's not working. Make sure you're willing to be adaptive. Just a little guy. That's today's lesson. Be adaptive. There's a million different ways to catch walleye. There's a million different places to catch walleye. There's so much in that sense. You have to be adaptive, especially when it comes to walleye. I feel like more than any other species, they can change up so quick on what they're doing for that day. It's insane. But just be adaptive. There's a moose nest back there. I just want to clarify that Jay Seaman stole my moose nest joke. Jay, you know that was my joke. I was just reeling up to go to a new spot, or not new spot, just kind of bump ahead a little bit and I got thumped. That downsizing definitely helped. They're smaller in here, it seems like, but I'll take them. It's a good eater walleye right there. Okay, let's go check one more spot and then transition into some pike fishing for the rest of the day, which is likely going to be a different video. Well, it's been half an hour since I left that other spot. One spot turned into two spots, and they just seem to be so finicky today. I'm gonna have to just write this one off right now, that the walleye are grumpy. Not every day can be smoking barrels. There's a couple different techniques for you. The 3 baits that I used was a 1/4 ounce spinner jig with a 2.8 inch tickle shad. I used a 3.8 ounce Google Eye jig, long shank, with a Fire Tiger 3.8 inch tickle tail. And then of course I used the crankbaits, which I talked about. This video is pretty mediocre, I'd say, for the most part. But just remember, be adaptive, and also use your trolling, your crankbaits to locate some fish. Because I did troll around everywhere, I was able to locate some fish and catch about, I don't know, 6 to 8 fish on grubs. I honestly thought it was gonna be lights out, but it was very mediocre today. Time to go pike fishing. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, get outside.